This week's Race of the Week is Mini Inter from the UKC at Larkhall. An unpredictable and dramatic race with brilliant racing and some drama to boot. Sit back, relax and enjoy this week's Race of the Week.
Let's see what happens, Zach, as they get themselves round into the acceleration zone.
Yeah, Emerson Makanji-Uren sets us off for another race. 10 minutes plus the lap on the inside of turn 1. What can Max Jolly do in terms of contention? In towards the very fast left-handed. Then, of course, into the boot section, we've got a driver cutting the grass on the inside and a kart there taking a jump, hop, skip and a jump in the background, spinning around, facing the wrong way. Good job from the rest of the pack to avoid them going every which way in order to get round the car. Not the way that you want to start your Superheat by any stretch of the imagination, but Makanji-Uren able to consolidate the pole position that he was so able to get over the course of Saturday in terms of a couple of race wins and fighting with Max Jolly throughout Saturday. Now into Sunday, let's see who's going to be able to take top step. I think so far a bit of contact further back. The number 10 has gone round as well through the hairpin. This really has been the sort of the caution zone, especially on lap 1.
Yeah, it really has. That inside hairpin there is where we'll start to see some overtakes get moved, and I can't quite see who's made it up to second, but I think Max Jolly has dropped from second to third. Let's say Max Jolly in third there, but Emerson Makanji-Uren. It's Josh Cormack, that young man who gave us the demo lap on the opening segment of the live here this weekend. It's his local track, so good luck to you racing for Sam Pollitt Racing this weekend as we go to a checkered, a black, full course yellow, basically. The Battenberg flag has come out. Essentially,
for those unfamiliar with karting, a VSC, I guess.
Yeah.
You could call it. The pack will bunch up and Makanji-Uren will get them round. So it neutralises the race. It's not like a full restart like we see with the green and the chevron. Neutralise the race and we get going again. So good practice for these young drivers when they go into karts to do sort of safety car restarts and things like that. Once that kart is clear, we can then go racing. Because if a kart's stationary in the middle of the track, it's hard for marshals to get on track to recover it, especially with a big grid.
Yeah, and I think what it was on that start there was those karts in the sort of middle to the back of the pack that we saw just having a little bit of bump and hustle. We saw some front wheels bounce up and down, didn't we? Obviously, one of those karts needed recovering because it hadn't moved from where it was, and that's why we've got the Battenbergs out and this effective virtual safety car as they move around. Now, this will be interesting, though, because the restart's going to be great, and it's a nervous moment as well for Emerson out in front there because it's all on him, right? So they can get some heat into their tyres right now, but it is all on him when he starts to get the hammer down, and he's got to go at the right time because behind him, that man Josh Cormack will be looking and thinking, you better get it right, mate, else I'm going. I think it's happening.
Yeah, foot to the floor, and we go racing once more here at Larkhall. Makanji-Uren will lead. Josh Cormack and Max Jolly, who is going to be, well, this is a second chance for him in order to make his way back through. Josh Cormack, of course, at the moment with the fast lap of the race, albeit with only one lap of running under his belt. Makanji-Uren is then able to once again consolidate the race lead. Max Jolly unable to find a way through on Cormack. I think we saw Austin Oman and Harry Ratcliffe doing battle for fourth place just in behind that as well. But a very big grid charging their way through the first couple of sectors here at Larkhall. Makanji-Uren able to lead. Josh Cormack, though, keeping him honest in second.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. Let's see what happens as we're out in the front right now, watching the front three. There are so many great names. Somebody just rolls off onto the mud, just gets onto the grass and back onto the track. Can't quite see who that was, but they've dropped themselves down a few positions there. Was it number 41? Might have been, or was it 47? Ryan White. Didn't quite see. So apologies if I'm just name-checking the wrong driver there. But out in front, here we go then. Emerson Makanji-Uren from Josh Cormack from Max Jolly. This is going to be great between these three. Austin Oman behind them. Riley Murrow, there's a name who's always out the front. Hang on a minute, what's happening with this order as they cross the start-finish line? It all sorts itself out.
Indeed it does. Through the first sector once more, the top three locked together. Makanji-Uren from Cormack from Jolly. Riley Moreau a couple of kart lengths back, and this I think is going to settle ourselves into a 3-horse fight at the front for the Mini Inter Superheat. And if this is the battle that we carry forward into the super final later on as well, the 188, that's Lewis Stewart having an off as well. So clearly showing that the track far from over. Max Jolly, what a run that was out of the hairpin. Got 2 in 1 now towards the banked hairpin. That was sensational. Makanji-Uren had to defend. Cormack then tried to get the switch back, and then Jolly just said, thank you very much, I'm through as well. That battle has brought the rest of the field in as well. There goes the number 3 of Riley Moreau to the inside. Beautiful racing here in the Mini Inters.
Yeah, lovely move from Riley Moreau there. Absolutely loving that young man. What a move up the inside, but credit as well to Max Jolly for taking the opportunity. Emerson is now in the fight then in second look, and he's going to have a look up the inside, gets it straight back. Well done to Emerson. Max Jolly slotting into second then. Third place, Riley Moreau there. And Josh Cormack as well. Keep your eyes on kart number 9 as we now have 2, 4, 6, about 7 karts there running at the front. He could almost throw a blanket over the front 3 as well. Look at these 3 scrapping it out. We've still got 5 minutes to go.
And they're fighting as if it's for the championship.
This is amazing.
Is beautiful to the outside. Riley Moreau, the number 3, gets forced wide there through the hairpin, muscled up to the exit of the circuit, now settles for 4th place, immediately having to defend. Mackenzie Uren just able to hang on from Max Jolly. He was not giving an inch on the exit of that corner there, and you almost have to expect it when you're trying an audacious move like that. But he settled back in. He needs to keep that composure. He needs to focus forward. Joshua Griffin found his way now into 3rd place in this race as they break the beam with the fastest lap. This is going down to the wire.
This is so good. Riley Moreau there obviously had the adrenaline coursing through his veins, and he'd done one overtake. He thought, I'll have a go at another one.
Why not?
And he just threw it in with like zero thought. But it nearly paid off. Good news for him is, though, he's still in 4th and he's got an opportunity to settle and make up some places as the race goes on. But brilliant racing from these youngsters out in front. Look, as they all bunch up again. So exciting. Look at this. These front 4 are giving us a battle. Watch Moreau. Look, he's going around the outside. He's going to try it. No, he's going to drop from 4th to 5th as cart number 7, Edward Haynes, muscles his way in.
That's the risk that you take when you go to the outside. You're going the long way around. You open up the inside, and straight up there on the left was the 7 of Edward Haynes, and you almost have to expect it in karting. The outside very rarely works. The driver on the inside just takes the apex and almost Max Verstappen's you to the exit of the circuit. Max Jolly dropping down a couple of places. Wasn't long that he was going for the lead. Now down into 5th. Just goes to show how changeable the Mini Inter can be.
Yeah, and Josh Griffin, cart number 5. Keep your eyes on him. This guy is giving us a show. Look at him. He's all over the back of Macandrew Uren there. He is really charging for the win in this one. This is the Superheat, not the Super Final. And they're not fighting really for a place in that Super Final because they're all going to get there if they finish the race in the top 34, which, 34 out of 36 of them should.
Yeah, exactly. It's just incredible. They're all fighting essentially for what is going to be their grid position. This is a glorified qualifying session as such. There are championship points on offer, though, so maybe that's going through their head.
Must be.
And, of course, they're racing drivers. They see a car in front of them. They're going to go for an overtake, whether it means anything or not. Oh, there's contact.
We got
and
contact.
off there into the grass. That's the 1-2-6. That's Harry Radcliffe that gets muscled wide there. Still in the fight, still in it. But, oh, my goodness me, a very scary moment and probably a change of underwear needed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not quite sure who the contact was from or whether it was a racing incident or what, but he got himself up onto the grass and then rejoins the action, which is good for him. But out in front, look, you can throw a blanket over the front 3 right now. Emerson Macandrew Uren in first. That's your number 1 cart. Then you got Riley Moreau. Full credit to that man for muscling his way up to the front. And Josh Griffin in 3rd. Max Jolly back to 4th then. Look at this as we see the action once again. Hang on a minute. Moreau's have another go. Did Macandrew Uren just run wide? He did. Macandrew Uren has run wide then, and he's now gone from 1st back to about 5th or 6th. The graphics will catch up in a moment, but you won't see him at the front of this pack when the video pictures pick up the action once again.
And the shame is that was all of his own volition. There was no contact. He wasn't forced wide. He was just put onto the outside of the circuit. Less grip. We'll catch a replay. Look at this. The number 1, was there contact there with the number 3? I'm not sure, but it just seems that they do both run wide, probably both pushing so hard. The number 5 of Joshua Griffin, we said to keep our eye on him. He just looks over his shoulder and goes, cheers, boys. I'm going to go win this race.
That was really, really exciting stuff. Great to see on the replay as well as we rejoin the action now. Then Josh Griffin out in front. The gap back to Moreau is just 0.28. And then Max Jolly will be having his eyes on those two as he's sitting in 3rd right now. This is what we're talking about. And look how close they all are through the rest of the field as well. This is all to play for with about 3 minutes to run, including the final lap.
When we sort of get asked what the race of the week is going to be, this is going to be one that strikes or maybe the final. Let's see if they ramp it up even more. We're at a sort of a 9.5. Let's see if we can get up to a 10 later on for the final. But these young drivers, again, like we were saying with the Micromaxes, claim your day 1 ticket now because these are the stars of the future. Into the final corner, there's our race leader, the number 5 of Joshua Griffin, who, by the way, started this race down in 9th place, now leads, showing how, even if you're sort of starting further back, don't give up, don't get disheartened, because very quickly he's put himself in a position to win this race. Riley Moreau, though, wants to put a nip in that bud and stop that from happening. They're starting to break away from Max Jolly. When do you fight? There's, 2 laps left to go after this. Riley Moreau, he doesn't want to make it a sort of a 1v1v1v1. He wants a straight fight just in front with Joshua Griffin. He does not want Jolly getting involved. There is a fight at the front. Defensive goes Griffin. Does he cover off the cutback?
I don't know. Riley Moreau's got ahead of him. There he goes. He ran wide and then pulled the cut back in. And now Moreau leads as they go into the full 180 up the bank. Can he carry his speed and keep it there? He absolutely can. Well done, Riley. That is a brilliant overtaking move. He's now going to be grinning from ear to ear inside that race helmet thinking, hang on a minute, there's nobody in front of me. I'm in the lead.
Beautiful stuff, and that is exactly what you want to see. Riley Moreau, of course, just at he didn't finish inside the top 5 all of Wilton Mill, now leads the Superheat. Insane level of
So
competition.
good.
Just how quickly things can nip and change, and everything is all over the place in karting. As soon as a driver you're able to capitalize on one single event, you can pick up a huge heap of points. That's going to be invaluable later on in the championship. Joshua Griffin, though, far from being knocked out of contention. Max Jolly, Josh Cormack as well, 3 and 4. 4 cars are slightly wide there. Riley Morrow, a bit too hot into the hairpin, compromises his exit. 1 lap left to go after this, and it could go any which way.
Yeah, it really could. Full credit to Riley there from Sam Pollitt Racing. Brilliant stuff from him. All those youngsters, I love going into the SPR awning because there's almost so much energy with the young drivers in there, and Sam does a great job of stewarding them and looking after them. As we look at number 5, Josh Griffin, just having a look up the inside, trying to get himself back, but brilliant stuff as we're on the last lap then. How much has Emerson McAndrew-Uren pulled himself back up after that incident a few laps ago? Currently running in 6th. Can he claw any more places up? That's going to be an interesting super final for him, because then we'll see the class that he's got, as he's going to have to come from lower down the grid to get himself on the podium if he has a chance.
Yeah, he is indeed, and that's going to be the sort of the making of a champion. It's not making mistakes, it's how do you come back from them when they do happen, and that's going to be a telling of his season to come. But the fight at the front still remains. Riley Morrow, Joshua Griffin, Max Jolly and Josh Cormack ever so slightly out of contention, and with just half a lap left to go, it's going to come down to these two, but opportunities wearing thin. Joshua Griffin needs a good run through this right-left flick, maybe a look into the final corner if he's brave enough, but Riley Morrow gets the exit. They're going to power towards the line. It's the number 3 that sees the checkered flag first, takes victory for a very chaotic mini Inter Superheat. Joshua Griffin comes home second, Max Jolly third. These drivers, look at that. It's a swarm of spin in the background as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ultimate Karting Championship.